Hello, everyone. So many beautiful faces out there. So our next speaker is Kaelyn and Lucy. They are YouTubers. Kaelyn is a 26-year-old veterinarian from Michigan, and Lucy is a 22-year-old filmmaker and editor from Oxford, England. The two met on Tumblr, fell in love, and started vlogging to document their time together while they were long distance. After 4 years of separation, the two finally closed the gap in August last year and continue to make videos documenting their life, and through doing so normalize the everyday life as an LGBT person. And challenge, I guess, heteronormative narratives. So let's welcome Kaelyn and Lucy.
I'll take the shorter mic. Hi, guys.
Hello. I'm Lucy, for those of you who don't know, and this
I'm
is my
Kaelyn.
beautiful girlfriend, Kaelyn.
We just wanted to thank everybody who's been involved in this, especially Camille, because she's been really awesome.
Thank you so much.
We've been asked to speak at a few of these kind of events similar to this. Our first one was a few years ago in London, where we spoke to about 600 teens. And then most recently, we spoke at Northern Arizona University to a group there. And we get asked to speak occasionally, and we never take the opportunity to turn it down. And the main reason for that is, when I was growing up, we didn't really have a lot of this where I was from. And I think because of that, it took me much longer to really accept my identity. And so anytime I have the chance to speak to somebody, I always imagine what I would say to myself when I was younger. And so this is kind of my words to myself.
Yeah. So quick backstory for those of you who don't know. We met on Tumblr nearly 5 years ago. And as a filmmaker, and we were long distance, I used to film our trips together and upload them onto YouTube for each other to see. And then randomly people started watching them, and it was like this amazing progression from just sharing our lives with each other and then sharing them with literally millions of other people. And at first, the positivity that we got was overwhelming. Everybody was so nice and so supportive, and it was really inspiring because people would share their stories with us. But over time, we started noticing that some comments weren't so nice. We'd get negativity, to the point where sometimes we wouldn't want to log into YouTube anymore because it would be so upsetting. And it got me thinking, and this was a couple years ago, about bullying and how it takes so many different forms. When I was younger, I was bullied. I didn't look the same as the other kids. I wasn't into the same stuff. While the kids in my class were outside playing football, I was inside writing Harry Potter fan fiction. We've all been there, don't lie. And I was different. I remember when I was around 8 or 9, I was cycling around and around my street. It's this circular shape. And when I got to the bottom, the kids in my neighborhood saw me, and they started running, and they screamed, "She's coming." And I was like, what? What did I do? Have I offended them? But I just kept going. I kept cycling, and I pretended that I couldn't hear them. And every time I reached the bottom, they would scream and run away. And I kept cycling, but when I went home to my mum, I cried, and I cried for hours because I didn't understand what was wrong with me. I didn't know. And I remember my mum telling me that I should not let it get to me and that they were nothing to do with me. And she said to me, "What they think of you is none of your business." And that's something that has always stuck with me. And I think it relates to YouTube because it's the same situation. It's progressed to this weird internet form, but it's the same people doing the same thing over and over again.
I think that we have it very lucky, and we have where none of us have been physically bullied, sexually bullied. A lot of it is words, and for us, the biggest comment that we get is invalidating our sexuality because we're the pretty white girls who don't belong together. We don't fit the norm of what a lesbian couple is. And so, for those people who are physically bullied, we are up here and we feel like we may not accurately represent you but know that we kind of, understand in a way that, bullying is something that we all deal with, in our lives. And when mainly when I was young, because the internet wasn't really there when I was
75 years ago.
Bullying was something that was done in a classroom by either, your classmates or even your, worstly, your close friends who would bully you, whether spreading rumors around your back and things like that. And now with the evolution of the internet, we're able to be bullied in our bedroom by ourselves, and where you should feel the safest. And now we're getting bullied online. We, especially, Tumblr, that's where we met. We admit it. But that's a place where we get the most anonymous hate. And I think a lot of you can relate to having people send you nasty things, whether it's related to your sexuality or your appearance or not fitting in to what you would normally be. Lucy has a good word for them.
I call them keyboard warriors, the people who are like, you're ugly. You can just tell they're like hiding behind the screen.
But with our YouTube, and we teamed up with a company in England called Ditch the Label, and it's the largest UK anti-bullying charity. And they have some interesting facts. About 50% of young people have bullied somebody else, but only 42% of people have reported to be bullied. And up to 62% of that has been online. We started thinking, what makes somebody bully somebody else? And a lot of times it's the insecurity of somebody, of themselves, and they're trying to project that onto you. They're trying to make you seem abnormal so they seem more normal.
Yeah, I think it's the fear of different people. It's the fear of something that they don't know. And in a way, you can't help but feel sorry for these people because, especially the online bullies, they're sat behind their screens at home, wallowing in this weird sense of control because from their screen and their keyboard, they can do whatever they like, and they're this anonymous persona that they think they can get away with anything. And I think why it's increased so much, especially over the past couple of years on the internet. You can be completely faceless. And I think it's just about fear. They're scared. That's why they're anonymous. I actually feel sorry for these people.
I think there's a lot of cooler things you can do in life.
Yeah. Go to Taco Bell.
Adopt some cats.
Adopt some cats. There's exciting things in the world.
For me, when, I was never really bullied classically as a kid. I was never the cool kid. I was the nerd, but I kind of went to school with a bunch of nerds, and so we all kind of related to that. But with the bullying and the fact that I wasn't accepting of my sexuality, I kind of bullied myself in that way. With that, it kind of gave me a motivation to be better and to work harder. And so I think that those of us who are bullied have that opportunity, especially kind of my age, when you're older and you kind of have come into yourself a little bit, to really try and succeed, to show them that all those words really didn't affect you, that you can prove them otherwise.
Yeah.
I graduated high school with honors. I graduated college in 3 years, and I graduated with my doctorate with high honors. And it's something that I'm, proud, regardless of what bullies say. We have this random YouTube channel that has amassed over 200,000 subscribers, and I'm standing here next to the love of my life. And so they can say all that they want.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
Use it as your motivation, I think is what I have done. Mm-hmm. I think when I'm 80 years old and, we're sat in an old people's home in like matching wheelchairs and we're looking out at the world, I want to be able to look back on my life and think I tried my best. I worked hard, I was loyal, I was trustworthy, I was a good friend. And those are the things that you want to look back on and be proud of. You're not going to want to look back on your life and think about all the miserable times, and I think that's what you need to focus on. So use the pain as motivation, I think.
I always remember that there are 7 billion people in this world, and every single one of them is different. So embrace that and, show your individuality, be yourself, and as you grow, use that as motivation to be a better you.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you guys have any questions or anything that we can really address. It was kind of short and impromptu, and we're up here shaking, and like 10% of that is nerves, and 90% of that is coldness.
Here. We live in Arizona, people.
We left Phoenix yesterday, and it was a cold 102 degrees. So
cold. I was wearing like a full-length sweater.
Do you guys have any like comments, questions, thoughts? Anything? Yeah.
I just wanted to say thank you for speaking out about your anxiety as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Lucy has pretty bad social anxiety, which has improved over the years, but every time we do one of these talks, she can't eat until after, so she hasn't eaten anything today, and she always has to vomit beforehand. So,
Okay.
Well, I'm just trying to help you guys out. You know, even we stand up here, and then you guys have all come up to us and said, you guys don't seem real. Like a lot of you have, but we don't think you, like, it's weird for us because we see a number on a screen, you know, we don't get to see the faces either, so it's weird to think that you guys are real. So we're glad and happy when you guys come up to us. But even with all those views, you know, we still get equally as nervous and have social anxiety, and it's okay.
Just so you know, I will be eating after this. I bought the biggest sandwich known to man, so we're all good. But yeah, we would love to talk to you guys. So any questions you have, any advice you need, we would love to chat to you now or later. So ask away.
Yeah.
So what is it like to meet people who know you? Is that weird?
It is a little bit weird. It is. We have some of the most amazing people that come up to us, and a lot of you guys share stories that, you know, we see comments, but they're not necessarily always personable on the computer. You know, we'll go through them and like, oh, that's really sweet. But the stories when people come up to us and say the impact that maybe something that we did had on somebody, you know, that really means a lot to us.
Yeah, and the things people go through that we just can't even imagine. It's just so inspiring to have them come to us and say that we've inspired them when it's kind of the other way around, to be honest with you. So it's definitely like a mutual admiration for sure.
Yeah.
Are you guys still active on Tumblr? Because I know I had to leave it last year because I couldn't handle it anymore.
Oh, we've been there too, don't worry.
Yeah, and a lot of times people just tell us to turn off anonymous.
Yeah.
But we find that a lot of people communicate with us anonymously about their troubles or their issues in life, and so we like to keep it on. But there are many, many, many days where we have to turn it off, or we'll go through 10 minutes of just deleting hate messages that we get. So we just we've learned, and unfortunately we live in this world where it's so normal to be hated on the internet. That we've gotten a little bit jaded and hard-skinned from that, and I think that's a little bit sad.
It is sad, yeah. But we stay on Tumblr because there are people there who not rely on us, but they want advice and they have questions, and that's the reason we began the whole thing, is because people said, you helped me, and we wanted to continue helping people in any way we could. So we just try to blinker the hate messages as much as possible.
Yeah.
Your YouTube comments, I know a lot of people are like, oh, they're bullying you, just ignore them, they'll go away, don't give them any power. Is that what you all do, or do you like block them, or how do you navigate that?
We do a few. One, we made a set of videos so far called "Haters Gonna Hate," and where we read our hate comments, but with a funny twist to them. And people actually have gotten angry at us because they think that now we're just giving the bullies more attention, that we shouldn't do that. And I think it brings an awareness to the ridiculousness of the comments that are anonymous.
The spelling is unreal.
But we have, we probably have blocked over 1,000 people from our YouTube channel just through the comments throughout the years. I think it is something where people will start offending other people that watch our videos, and that's when I get really angry and will block them. You can say anything you want about me. I don't really care. It doesn't affect me very much, and I think that came with age. I think if I was younger, that would have really had an issue. I would have had an issue with that, but a lot of times I read them with a little sense of humor.
Yeah, you start to laugh after a while because people are so ridiculous. The things they say is just absurd. Yeah, it comes with it, I suppose.
Did you know that you were, or like, had you known that you would get into the well-knownness that you are now? Like, would you have started?
I don't know. I think I still would have done. I think I would have done it slightly. I think at the beginning we were just really open about everything. to the point where I think it made the negative people feel sort of like entitled to stuff, you know, that is necessarily maybe quite private or something like that. But I think I still would. I mean, I think I would have been overwhelmed had I known that it got so big, but I wouldn't have changed.
I think some people start YouTube for fame or for money because now it's becoming this commercialized place. And I can assure you that we did not think that anybody would watch our videos when we started, and we put them up so I could share our trip together and my family could meet Lucy before she actually did. We put it on public because that way we could share it with our friends and family and put it on my Facebook page, and then people started watching. And so I think that some people think that we have this idea that we just want to be famous, and it's kind of completely the opposite. I think that we've made an impact that even if it's small, I feel like if I could have changed one person's life, then I'm happy with that, so I would have done it regardless.
Yeah.
It is a little bit strange to us, I would say.
Yeah, but in a good way.
Yeah. Andrea Gibson is next. Are you guys excited? I'm excited too.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
So I just, like a few days ago, Beatrice and I were sitting watching that Haters Gonna Hate video, and we were laughing because of how ridiculous the comments were. But I'm just gonna ask you to continue to never turn down the opportunity to talk, because so many people need to be educated about this type of thing that aren't. And I know the people in this room, we obviously are different and unique and beautiful people, but I think that we are educated about this type of thing. Not everyone is, so I'm just going to ask you to just never turn down the opportunity to speak. And Lucy, you reward yourself with a huge sandwich after.
Oh, I will. This big. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
You good to go?
Have a good rest of your weekend. We hope you have fun.
Yeah, we'll be around for the next hour or so.
Come and say hi.
If you want to come and say hi. I'll be eating a massive sandwich, so.